Do you know that slavery, abuse, child abuse, rape and murder and kidnapping has never ended? It has never ended. It still continues in 2026. So when these children were sent from the United Kingdom to Australia, they experienced all of that, including Aboriginal children from this country. They didn't give a fuck about the colour of your skin. You were just a part of the bargain. They got you, they know they could do it, and they used the laws against you to remove your children. And the ones that were coming into Australia, they used those very laws and marketing to fool you into thinking that your children would be safe. So they didn't care about the colour of your skin. They just used laws to silence you and abuse your children. And in 2026, the same thing is happening. We pay taxes to allow our governments and our judicial system to do that very same thing in 2026. Those people in Parliament do not work for you. Otherwise, we wouldn't have lobbyists in those parliaments dictating what we can and can't do in our own country.
The story of the child migrants is one of Britain's darkest and longest hidden scandals. Between 1869 and 1970, more than 100,000 children were sent from Britain to Canada, Australia, New Zealand and Rhodesia. Around 7,000 of them were sent to Australia. Many had not been orphaned at all. Some had one living parent. Others had families who believed they would return. Instead, they disappeared across the world. The lost children of empire. The year was 1947. At the docks of Tilbury, the air smelled of salt and coal smoke as hundreds of children stood clutching battered suitcases. Some wore donated coats far too large for them. Others carried nothing but a small cardboard label tied to their clothing. They had been told they were going on an adventure. Australia is a land of sunshine, they were promised. There are oranges growing on trees. You'll have horses to ride and wonderful homes. Many smiled through tears, believing they would soon write home. Some waved goodbye to parents they would never see again. Others never knew they still had parents at all. As the great passenger ships pulled away from Britain, children lined the railings, waving until the coastline disappeared into the mist. Behind them disappeared everything they had ever known. Ahead lay nearly 10,000 miles of ocean. For weeks they crossed seas plagued by storms, seasickness and loneliness. Some children cried themselves to sleep each night. When the ships finally reached Fremantle, Melbourne or Sydney, there were no welcoming families waiting. Instead, there were trucks and institutions. Many children were sent to places run by churches and charitable organisations, including Bindoon Boys Town, Castledare, Clontarf, Tarden, Nazareth House and the Fairbridge Farm Schools. The reality was nothing like the brochures. Children worked long hours building roads, quarrying stone, farming fields, milking cows, laying bricks and constructing buildings that still stand today. Some boys at Bindoon helped build the institution itself, carrying heavy limestone blocks while still only children. Education was often minimal. Labour came first. Discipline was harsh. Children who wet the bed might be forced to scrub mattresses or stand humiliated before others. Talking back could mean beatings with canes, leather straps or sticks. Food was often poor. Many remembered constant hunger. Some stole vegetables from gardens simply to survive. Former child migrants later described being punched, kicked, locked in dark rooms, forced into exhausting physical labour, or publicly humiliated for the smallest mistakes. Numerous official inquiries documented widespread physical abuse and neglect. Perhaps the greatest cruelty was not always physical. It was the lies. Many children were told their parents had died. Years later, they discovered their mothers had spent decades searching for them. Letters sent from Britain were intercepted or destroyed. Some children wrote home but never received replies because their letters were never posted. Families on opposite sides of the world believed the other had abandoned them. The truth had been stolen. One former child migrant, Margaret Humphreys, a social worker from Nottingham, began uncovering these hidden stories during the 1980s after meeting a woman searching for her family. What she uncovered revealed thousands of missing children and broken families. Her investigations led to the creation of the Child Migrants Trust, helping many former child migrants find parents, siblings and children they believed they had lost forever. Official investigations followed. The Australian Senate inquiry, Lost Innocence, in 2001, documented widespread neglect and abuse. In 2009, Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd formally apologised to former child migrants, saying, "We are sorry." The following year, in 2010, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown offered the United Kingdom's official apology, acknowledging the suffering caused by decades of child migration. For many survivors, the apologies came far too late. Parents had already died. Brothers and sisters had grown old apart. Entire lifetimes had been lost. Today, if you visit some of those former institutions in Australia, the buildings remain. Stone walls built by children's hands still stand beneath the Australian sun. Every brick tells a silent story, not of opportunity, but of separation, of broken promises, of children who sailed away believing they were travelling toward a better life, only to discover that the greatest distance was never the 10,000 miles across the ocean. It was the heartbreaking distance between a child and the family who never stopped wondering where they had gone.